body, mind and spirit are healthy. My body, mind and spirit are healthy. My body, mind and spirit are healthy. I give thanks for the health of my being. I see my cells and atoms healed. Every day I bless the health I have, and I say thank you for my healing. 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 My body, mind and spirit are healthy. 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 I give thanks for the health of my being. I see my cells and atoms healed. Every day I bless the health I have, and I say my body, mind and spirit are healthy. 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 I give thanks for the health of my being. I see my cells and atoms healed. Every day I bless the health I have, and I say thank you for my healing. 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 Thank you for my Thank you for my healing. Thank you for my healing. See, my body, mind, and spirit are healthy.
Good morning. Happy morning. So maybe we can start with a few sharings of last night's meditation, the depths of being. So anybody would like to share? Yeah, please.
Hello. Yeah. So I've been telling you that past two meditations, PLR yes, morning and previous night, Rumi also. I don't know for what reason, I was just falling asleep most of the times. But yesterday, 3 hours, I was totally awake, aware, and a little while in the beginning, it took me some time to get connected, but later on, I was deeply connected. I really didn't feel like ending it. Once it got ended, I really didn't feel like, getting up from there. So super awesome experience. I like totally divine. And the one message which I keep receiving every time, whether I am connecting or not, is oneness and love. The same message was repeated even last night. Super awesome. And thank you so much for
Beautiful.
Thank
beautiful.
you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Good morning to all of you. Myself, Raju DG from Bangalore. Uh, last night, meditation was, I would say, it was a supreme experience for me. I felt like numb, like I went up to the king's chamber to do the meditation. Uh, I couldn't realize, like after half an hour, where I was sitting. So that is the kind of experience I always wanted to have. I was somewhere else. I was thinking that it was not going to the peak and all that. A lot of disturbances I used to get every time whenever I was sitting for the meditation. A lot of distortions and all that. But I was not resisting that. So I accepted that, yes, I am getting disturbance and all that. And that guided meditation by Shreyans was really, it was like icing on cake. I really like, whenever I used to talk about the bigger purpose, bigger vision, bigger higher context for the life, I could see myself that, yes, I'm here for a bigger purpose and also the kind of miracle, what is possible in our life. So I felt like, yes, I should be doing it year after, like every day. Hardly since 2 months I've been doing meditation. Earlier, doing it for 20 minutes and half an hour itself, I used to think that it's a good feeling and achievement for me. Year after, I've decided minimum 1.5 hour to 2 hours every day, I've decided to do it. Thank you so much, Shreyans. I'm
Thank
so
you.
grateful to you.
Thank you, Raju. All right, friends. So now we'll start with meditation. We'll start with this meditation is called called Create Your Day morning meditation. So you can do this anytime. The moment you get up, open your eyes. You can just put on your headset even while lying down, or you can do in a sitting posture. So today we'll be doing in a sitting posture. So let's start. It's around 47 minutes meditation. Yeah, and please put your phones on silent. Yeah. Yeah, you can clasp your hands, cross your legs, and gently close your eyes. As we begin this meditation, I would encourage you to continue lying down in a comfortable position on your bed, or you may choose to sit up straight and gently close your eyes. Take a moment and find your center, and slowly shift your awareness inwards. Inhale, become aware of your breath, and as you exhale, relax. And one more slow, steady breath in. As you breathe in, relax your face muscles. Let yourself visualize and feel the exhilaration of the new day ahead of you. And have a gentle smile on your face. And as you exhale, feel yourself relax, completely relax. Release any tension or anxiety that you may be holding in your body. Take another slow deep breath, and as you exhale, let go of all worries and stress.
Anytime your attention seems to wander away, bring your awareness back to your nostrils and witness the tidal flow of each breath as you continue to calm your mind further. No matter what awaits you, there is no better preparation than a calm mind. Breathe. Feel going deeper and deeper within. Drift deeper. Sink further deep. And even deeper still. Hook on to your breath and feel your whole body sinking into the generous present moment. And now, gently shift your awareness to the area of your heart. Allowing your breath to move in and out of this sacred center. Allow yourself to breathe in more deeply, more soundly, and more completely as you breathe from this creative center. Become aware of your feelings. Notice it. Sense it. Feel your feelings. As you continue to breathe from this creative center, open your heart. Know that it is safe to breathe. As you bring your attention to the area of your chest, you activate this creative center Furthermore, with your attention, with every breath, you awaken your heart. Furthermore, feel the expansion in your heart. Tune in to the pure positive energy of your inner being. Breathe, feel, and move into a new state of being as you rest your attention within the center. Your heart is a bridge that connects you to the source energy. As you dive deep into the core of your inner being, feel your connection to the source energy, as your source is the ultimate resource. As you breathe from this creative center, it's time to bring a creative feeling like gratitude, appreciation, the joy of existence. Falling in love with life. Feeling worthy in this moment. Be thankful for all the wonderful things that you have in your life. Acknowledging the good that we already have is the foundation for all abundance. Feel the contentment, satisfaction, and fulfillment for all that you are blessed with. A grateful heart is a magnet for miracles. Feel the appreciation in your heart for what you appreciates. A true appreciation to be alive in this moment, allowing the song of your soul to be heard and to be felt by all, and the energy of love being broadcasted into the field for the greatest good of all. This new day is a brand new beginning for you as you invite new opportunities and choices with each new day. The universe is full of possibilities and potentials and is eagerly waiting to align itself with the new you. And as I say the next few words, I encourage you to feel every word to the core of your being. Feel every emotion vibrating in each and every cell of your body. The new you stepping into the world today is filled with immense gratitude, confidence, flexibility, openness, resilience, humor, abundance, prosperity, friendliness, vitality, self-expression, passion, purpose, authenticity, higher wisdom, calmness, simplicity, empathy, detached awareness, freedom, adventure, cooperation, open-mindedness, synergy, forgiveness, love, humility, and kindness. There is nothing missing in you. All that you need is alive in you. As you respond to every call that excites your spirit, remember this feeling. As you chase the feeling, not the experiences. Soak yourself into this feeling and remember it by heart. And now it's time to be defined by a vision of the future instead of the memories of the past, and to move into a new state of being. It's time to create reality from a greater dimension. What was that vision of the future that awaits you? It's time to select that potential that already exists in the quantum field. Imagine it in your mind. Embody that future now. Feel yourself right into it. Give it all the tones and sensory vividness of reality as if it's happening now. The open, blank canvas of today is yours to paint on. Choose your colors wisely and begin to paint your vision into reality. This vision is not separate from you. Let the images come to you. and feel the feelings of your desires being fulfilled now. Combine your clear intention with an elevated emotion. How would you feel if your dreams come true? Focus on this elevated feeling as what you feel about, you bring about. This experience is not outside of you. It is you. Become the vision. Visualize and emotionalize let your goals be emotional goals as your vibration always precedes manifestation. Drop the resistance, not the desire. Teach your body emotionally how that future feels like and move into a new state of being. As you change your energy, you change your life. Come on, open your heart and let your body respond to a new mind. It's time to step into that future now. Treat yourself as you already have it. Treat yourself as you already are what you would like to become. If you believe you deserve it, the universe will serve it. What choices will you make today? And what behaviors would you demonstrate? What experience awaits you? And how will they feel? Stay in this feeling. When you are thinking, you are in an asking mode. Only when you're feeling, you are in a receiving mode. Feeling a state produces that state. Feel the thrill and exhilaration of creating the life you desire. You are no longer bound by your limitations, fears, and insecurities. It's time to remind yourself of what choices will you not make. What behaviors will you no longer demonstrate? What experiences will you stay away from? And what emotions and feelings will you no longer embrace that will cause you to return back to your familiar old self? Wisdom is to avoid all thoughts that weaken you and embrace thoughts that empower you. Remember, if it does not evolve you, it does not involve you. Become the observer from a greater level of mind. Today, you will be a host to your future and not a hostage to your past. And now, Divine One, sentient being, creator of destiny, center yourself by taking your hands and place it over your beautiful heart, your soul. And feel immense compassion, care, and kindness towards your beautiful self. Give thanks for a new day, a new you, and a new life. And the longer you feel grateful, the more you draw your new life to you. tune in to this feeling of gratitude and excitement. As gratitude is the ultimate state of receivership. Allow yourself to let this feeling of gratitude grow as I take you through inspiring affirmations to prime you for your new day. You are welcome to repeat these affirmations in your mind as I say them. Today is a great day, the best day of my life. My day is filled with incredible opportunities. I embrace the present without any resistance. I am in a state of acceptance and allowance. Love is the basis of all my emotions. Everything is always working out for me. The universe is aligned in my favor. I attract things and people for my highest good. I am vibrating at my highest potential and achieving all my goals with effortless ease. I don't chase, I attract. What belongs to me will find me. I am filled with vital energy. Every day, I am getting younger and younger as my age is getting reversed. I am a wellness producing machine 24/7. I share a deep and special bond with my family and friends. I enjoy the freedom that comes to me when I don't take things personally. Money flows into my life freely and abundantly. I am fabulously wealthy. I have a mastery of self-control over my thoughts and feelings. As a change of feeling is a change of destiny. I am aware that potential is always bigger than problems. As problems are opportunities in disguise. I surrender to the higher power and feel safe as I trust the process of life. So Divine One, know that life is happening for you, not to you. Let your vision be more vivid than your current reality, so that the action is inspired by your vision and not from the current state. You are a unique expression of the infinite. Your life matters. You are born for a reason, not for the season. Ask, what is your gift to share? Ask the universe, how can I serve you? Rather than asking, what is in it for me? And then the universe will serve you. And now, Divine One, as you emulated the divine today and made contact with it, ask for a sign from this higher consciousness, from this loving intelligence, that it manifests your dreams in a way that you least expect, that surprises you and leaves no doubt that it came from the higher mind, and leaves you in a state of awe and wonderment. Breathe, feel, smile, and radiate your love into life, and receive the love from all of life. Be inspired, be lifted, feel invincible, feel empowered, feel magnificent. Remember this feeling in your heart. Memorize this feeling. Treasure this feeling and remember it by heart.
I've let go of my past and celebrate who I've become. I am beautiful. and I celebrate who I am. I am beautiful, I am powerful. I've let go of my past and celebrate who I've become. I am beautiful, I am powerful, and I celebrate who I am. I am beautiful, I am powerful. I've let go of my past and celebrate who I've become. I am beautiful.
And now, with a smile on your face, bring your awareness back to a new body, to a new environment, in a whole new world, and a whole new time. Thank you for giving me the privilege to be the part of the very start of your day. Immense gratitude for trusting me with your day. Whenever you're ready, you may gently rub your palms and place them over your beautiful eyes. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and slowly open your eyes. And come back to this three-dimensional reality.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Friends, today's topic, earlier I thought I will take relationships, but then I thought I'll take ego first and then come to relationship. Because once you understand ego, even you'll be able to understand even relationships better. And of course, even in this topic, we cover a lot on relationships. So we've been told, or drop our ego, we should drop our ego, we should not have ego. But to really drop our ego, first we need to understand what is the ego. Right? What are the different facets of ego? And this is what we're going to understand in today. And in fact, every time I teach this, I feel, oh my God, so much I need to drop within me. So at any stage of time, there's always we need to something work on ourselves. And ego is one thing which keeps slipping in. You have to constantly work on it. It's a constant process. So when we are born, as a child, we were given a name, right? We were born as nothing, but the moment we were given a name, oh, now this is me, right? That feeling of I-ness started coming in. And it was important at that time. Initially, it is important for you to identify with yourself, for your growth, for your progress. But then we identify so much that we feel that this is my personality, this is only me. But we forget that it was given to us by somebody else. So what is ego? Is a voice which tells you, oh, I am superior, I am inferior, I'm deserving, I'm undeserving. I need to prove something, or I'll be a failure, or people will like me only if I achieve something. We need validation from people, from social media. So, ego always keeps us trapped in a very surface level of reality. It gives us very superficial happiness. So, and once we shed our ego, once we understand our ego, and once we are able to shed it, then it is like caterpillar turning into a butterfly. And life experiences teaches us. Life will give you experiences which will always be most helpful for the evolution of consciousness. So when you are carrying ego, life will give you a lot of experiences to help you to shed your ego. It will teach you lessons. But sometimes we do not understand it and we get further trapped in our ego. We try to even deal with that lesson which you need to learn from. We don't see it as a lesson. We see it as something to resist with, because the ego loves that. And that's how, and again deal with further ego. So what is the anatomy of ego? Ego has twofold conditioning. Ego's conditioning is twofold. One is the construct and one is the content. So what is content? Is about things, body, form. Things is your name. Things is started with a toy, which then became a car, house, the designer labels, the branded clothes, the products, which we feel are our identity enhancers. Oh, I am what I have, right? So all these are things which we think that defines us. But actually, our I is negating us. By labeling ourselves or by identifying with small things or limited things, we are actually negating ourselves. We are reducing ourselves. That I is reducing you. Then our wealth, our home, everything. We say, oh, it's my home, right? But the truth is, nothing is permanent, right? Nothing is permanent. So rather than saying it's my home, we have to be aware that no, I am the caretaker of this house. Rather than saying it's my wealth, I am the custodian of this wealth. We say, oh, he died, or he lost his life, or my life, as if life were something that you can possess or lose. The truth is you don't have a life, you are the life. Even our whole social setup, even our whole economic, even our economic growth parameter is based on consumerism, capitalism, how much production we are consuming, how much we are producing, right? That determines, oh, our country is growing, we are growing. How much we determine our growth depending on how much wealth do I have. Oh, if some year, if I lost money, I say, oh, it was a bad year for me. Why? Because I lost money. So even our growth, we determine by how we are, these are the financial parameters which we determine our growth. When we see others' success, first we see what is the net worth. What is the balance sheet saying? Oh, then he is a success person. We don't see, oh, how spiritually enriched he is. Right? So all these external parameters determines our growth, right? And this is how we are conditioned. So one content of the ego is things, where all things are determined by the things we possess, things we have. Then second is body. Body is our gender, our appearance. I look good, I look bad, your beauty, your ugliness, in relation to others, in comparison with others. Physical strength, weakness, healthy body, pain body, problematic body, right? So we identify with our body, with the external body, not our inner body awareness, more about external body awareness. Then third is form. So what is form? Form is your social position, your reputation, something which is not tangible, intangible things, right? Things are tangible. Body is tangible. Form is something which is intangible. Your social position, your reputation, your physical strength, your physical abilities to do something, or your nationality, your religion. Oh, I am a Hindu, I am Indian, I am American, right? When you say, oh, I am American, and I am the superpower, again that creates an ego. And then you see people of other nationalities or some poor nations as, oh, you're from that country, or you're from Africa. Right? So subtly, subconsciously there's an ego, right? So even with nation, there's an ego which comes in. With religion, sometimes the ego comes in. Many times, actually. Because a religion will be enforced that, oh, my religion is the best. Right? Your social media, how many views, how many likes. So all that comes in form, intangible, right? I am what I do, I am what I accomplish, my accomplishments. I am what others think of me. So these are the recurring thought forms and conditioned mental and emotional patterns that are always invested with the sense of I. Yeah. So ego arises when your sense of beingness, you're just being, right? When your sense of beingness of I am, when I say being is that I am, that formless consciousness get mixed up with the form. Gets identified with the form. So this is the contents of the ego, things, body, form. Construct is the identification. There's nothing wrong in having a good car, nothing wrong in having a good house. But now you identify, it's my house. The house you bought was there probably 10 years back, was built 10 years back. But the moment you buy it, the moment you have paid for it, you do the registration in your name, now you say it's my house, right? The moment you buy the car, now you say it's my car. So now you have identified with that object, with your body, with your form. The moment you became a head of a society or a head of your company or any spiritual head or a religious head or some position in some form in the society, you say, oh, I am that. Or some political figure, oh, I am that. You have identified that is the form. It's intangible, but you think I am this. And the more your identification becomes, then you don't want to leave it. If you're an MLA, now you want to become a minister. The minister, you want to become a chief minister. So you keep adding on more and more to identify yourself. And the ego loves doing that. So the ego always survives on identification. Because if there's no identification to any form or body or thing, then the ego can't survive. But ego wants to survive. Ego needs to survive. That is, if everybody wants to survive, so ego in us also needs to survive. So how does it survive? Only by identification. By separation, that you and I are separate from each other. Who I am is separate from everything else. Even ego likes, even I am separate from what I am missing in my life. I am separate from God, and God is outside of me. But actually our ego is reducing us, right? Because we are much more than these impermanent things. Guardian has become a guard. Right? Godhood, guardian, which is the godhood in us, has become human. The root belief of all false belief is the belief in separation, that you and I are separate from each other. But our true self is consciousness, which is like an ocean. But our ego self is like a limited identity, which is like a wave. But the moment the wave realizes it's an ocean, it is not losing, it is actually experiencing its expanded self. By thinking I am a wave, the wave is only limiting itself, right? So same way as our ego is only limiting ourselves. Lao Tzu said, when I let go of what I am, I become what I might be. And what you are is that expanded consciousness, that expanded awareness, that God in us, that Godhood in us. That's why the highest virtue is to act without a sense of self. Right? As I shared with you, when somebody asked Raman Maharshi, how are we to treat others? He said, where are the others? There's no act. There's no sense of self in these masters, these initiates. So now, let me share with you what are the ego traits. The ego has multiple traits. I'll go one by one, each trait. Right. So ego, even the voice in our mind, is ego. It's coming from an ego. You are not the voice in your mind. You are the one who hears it. The moment you understand that the voice is coming from ego, a lot of time, and you are the one who hears it, that's when you know, that's when you understand that you are separated from that. And these are the multiple voices that ego comes up with. Complaining. Ego loves complaining because ego thrives on separation. Ego wants somebody on the other side of the rope. Right? Ego wants somebody on the other side of the stick. So then ego loves complaining, name calling, shouting, screaming, sometimes even physical violence. Ego loves to complain about things, complain about others. Because that strengthens ego's identity. Oh yes, I am separate from that person. When I make the other person small, I feel bigger. When I see problems in my life, then it gives me an identity. So ego unconsciously loves problems because that gives you an identity of sorts. So ego loves problem because it gives ego the identity. That's why ego is always looking for problem. Keep focusing on the problem. So when you complain, you make yourself a victim, right? Then ego feels, oh, so much bad is being happening to me. People are troubling me. That identifies the ego. Ego loves that thing. That strengthens the ego. There are actually only 3 ways to deal with the situation. There's no room for complaint. Either leave the situation, change the situation, or accept it. All else is madness. Either leave the situation, change the situation, or accept it. And to complain means always non-acceptance of what it is. Non-acceptance of what is. In the moment there's non-acceptance, there's a resistance. And that resistance invariably carries a negative charge, right? It's unconscious negative charge. Like we like to gossip about others, right? So when you gossip about others, that implies that ego is seeking sense of superiority complex, but devaluing others or diminishing other person. That's why we want to gossip. Any person with any traits, he may have 10 positive traits, but if you see one negative trait, that sticks to your mind. Usually it's a negative that sticks to our mind. Anything, negative news, negative personality trait, anything that will stick to our mind. Because ego likes that. Because that is the trait of the ego, because then the ego feels superior. Oh, I am better. And then we harp upon that negativity. How can you be like this? How did you do like this? This person is like this. Rumi said the art of knowing is knowing what to ignore. You see a negativity, ignore it. Whitewash it as if you have not seen it only. The art of knowing is knowing what to ignore. When you focus on the goodness of others, the goods get better. Or anything in life, when you focus on good, the good gets better. When you focus on problem, the problem becomes worst. So to complain is always non-acceptance of what it is, right? So remember, friends, whenever you find here and now unhappy, either you remove yourself from the situation, or you can change the situation, or you can accept it totally. No room for complaint. This is the ego. You have to understand that this is the ego playing in you, who is making you act like that. Then the second trait of ego is resentment. Ego loves resentment. Ego loves to resent any people or situations. If somebody is angry, or if somebody is in a state of rage, you resent it, right? Or somebody is shouting, you resent it. Somebody is abusive, you resent it. And we are very valid in resenting it. How can he talk like this? How can he behave like this? So what are we doing at that moment? That person who is behaving that way is unconscious, right? He has lost his connection with his inner being, or he has lost her connection with her inner being. So the person is unconscious. That's why he is abusive. He's in a rage. Now ego, what ego loves is, ego wants to make the other's unconscious state their own identity. Ego likes to make the other's unconscious state its own identity. And now because you made that words, that expression, that anger, the rage, your identity, now it became yours. Now it is affecting you. Now it develops resentment in you. Now you resent that people. Now you resent the situation. Buddha said pain is inevitable. Suffering is optional. When you identify with that pain, then you suffer. Usually people don't die from the snake bite. It is that, but even before that venom, the poison spread, the fear kills them. Or so snake bite didn't kill the person. When the poison starts spreading, that killed the person, right? So that attitude of that person, or that behavior of the other person who was abusing, that didn't kill you, or that didn't bother you. But the moment you identified, the moment you gave meaning to his words, now the poison started spreading. And now we are suffering. Now we want to take revenge, right? So friends, there are, Wayne Dyer said, there are no justified resentments. There are no justified resentments. So non-reaction. Non-reaction is a way to dissolve ego. And actually collective human ego. Sometimes you just don't need to react. Buddha was meditating. When shepherd came, while Buddha was meditating, and he left all his sheep, and he told Buddha, I am going to drink the water from the nearby river. You please look after my sheep. Now Buddha was meditating. He didn't even hear him. After he came back, the shepherd saw all his sheep are gone here and there, everywhere, scattered. He got very angry. What kind of a person is this? What kind of man is this person is? One small thing he can't do for me. He started shouting on Buddha. Buddha was still meditating. The more he didn't open the eyes, the more he was angry. What kind of a man is this? I am angry, I am upset, he's not even opening his eyes. He started abusing. Very loud. Slowly Buddha opened his eyes. Absolutely calm, absolutely still. By that time, Buddha opened his eyes, this man was exhausted of abusing. He said, I am shouting so much, I am tired. Why? How can you not react? How is it not affecting you? He said, all the words you said, whatever words you said, I didn't identify with that. So it never became mine. So it remained yours. Since I didn't take it, it remained yours. And that's why now you're exhausted. That's why your own words drained you. So we make, and then he surrendered, he started crying, and he became Buddha's disciple. So non-reaction, sometimes non-reaction is a way to dissolve ego. The other person's ego got dissolved. And your own ego gets dissolved. So sometimes when you are feeling angry or upset about other behavior, at that time maybe just silence is the answer. Just don't react. Don't identify with others' unconscious state. Know that the person is unconscious. You look at it with more compassionate. Not from anger, not from resentment. Because whatever you resist, you will persist. What irritates you about others only reflect that part of the ego that is active in you. The only reason it irritates you because there's a part of it reflects that part of the ego which is active in you. If that part of the ego is not active in you, it will not bother you at all. So your triggers are your best teachers. They are only trying to tell you what you need to work on yourself. So rather than resentment, this is a time for contemplation. This was triggering me. This behavior is triggering me. Okay, so that means I need to work on myself. Rumi said, if you are irritated by every rub, how will you ever be polished? So that those behaviors which are triggering you is actually your teachers. They are coming as blessings so that you can work on yourself, so that you can polish yourself. And the moment you resist, it hardens the shell of the ego. You become closed. The moment you accept it, okay, this person is in his unconscious state. He is not connected to his inner being. Fine. Let him say what he has to say. So that acceptance softens the ego. Then you are more open to life. Yeah.
I'm Sonal from St. Louis, Missouri. So, on an external environment, when we are learning how to be silent and how to learn from this and take this as a welcoming challenge to work on yourself. However, internally, aren't they your own reflection? I mean, what I mean to say by that is when we say there are no others, you create your own reality. So at some point, and this is pertaining to relationships. So as we know that, people around you are the most lessons that they have come in your life to teach you. So then how do you say with working, by doing the inner work, working on meditation, controlling your own, reactions to responses, you have mastered the external world maybe. But however, how do you, as we just said a few minutes ago, that we create our own reality, there are no others. So is that what we are witnessing in the other person, physical world, is also the mirrors that they say you are your own actions, correct?
Absolutely.
So I'm just kind of always into that fix.
Yeah.
So if you could explain a little bit on that. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Very, very good question. So there's a thin line. What you are creating your reality, and sometimes what is the other's unconscious state. Now Buddha, while he was meditating, he did not, it's not like, oh, there's a pain in him and that's why he's creating that reality in his life. Right? But because there was no pain in him, that's why he did not identify with his unconscious state, with the other person's unconscious state. If that lesson needed to be learned for him, then it would have triggered him also. That's why triggers are your teachers. They are telling you what you need to work on yourself. The moment you know, it is not triggering me at all. I'm still my own calm, balanced state. Then you know it is them who needs to work on themselves. And that's why that's why you are not suffering, right? Their pain does not become your suffering. Then they are creating their reality and you are just an observer. In fact, you become a guide to them, you strengthen them. Your balance becomes an example for them. They learn from that. Your energy speaks to them, right? So that's why sometimes it's great to just embrace silence. Right? Silence, by just being silent, you're talking to them. Silence is a speech of a spiritual seeker, right? And silence, and it says it is the silence between the notes that make the music. So you practice silencing in relationships. Sometimes use silence. Need not just answer or tell or everything. Sometimes just silence can be an answer. I'll cover more. Yeah. So let me complete this part, and maybe by the end you might have a lot of your answers. So when in chaos, let silence be your hideout. Right? And when you emerge from it, when you emerge from your silence, then you will see light in everything. Because at that moment you are triggered, at that moment you are reacted. But the moment you are silent, the moment you close your eyes, the moment you are connected with your inner being, then you will understand. Then you will see light in everything. Then you will understand their unconscious state. Then you will understand, then you will see that thing, then the same thing you will see it as compassion. Right? We came as creators, not as reactors. And that is what responsibility is, our ability to respond. Then you will respond, not react, right? And nobody. One is there are no justified resentments. And second, nobody can make you unhappy without your consent. So there is no question of resenting others or blaming others. You consented to that unhappiness. Buddha could have become very unhappy in that situation. Ki, I am such a great teacher. I am such a spiritual master. How can you abuse me like this? So nobody can make you unhappy without your consent. Somewhere subconsciously you consent to your to that unhappiness, to their behavior, which makes you unhappy. In stoicism, there's a term called amor fati. Amor fati. H-A-M-O-R-F-O-T-I, amor fati. It means whatever is happening to you, it didn't happen to you, it happened for you. So, the Stoics always live with this awareness. What is happening around me is not happening to me, it's happening for me. What is the lesson in it? How is it helping me? It is something is happening for me. So, this is not, in Stoicism they say it's not merely to bear what it is. Not merely to bear what is, but to love it. Any challenge, any problem, to love it. So you can use others' behaviors, even in relationships, what you used to feel resentful as a tool for awakening, as a spiritual experience. In a relationship, in a close relationship, in a family relationship, we encounter the same people again and again, right? Same person with same behavioral pattern again and again. So initially, first time when you say, oh, it triggered me. Second time you become more aware. Oh, next time if this person behaves like this, I want to be calm. I want to be silent. I will know that this person is now in his unconscious state. I will not identify with that person, with that unconscious state, with those words. Second time you are better. Third time you are expert at it. It doesn't trigger you at all. That's a victory. So you can take it as a great spiritual experience. You are waiting when does this person behave like this, and I master and don't lose my mastery. So it can become a spiritual experience. So that's what Stoicism said, amor fati. Not merely to bear what is, but necessary. Not merely to bear what is necessary, but to love it. Second term in second principle that you follow is memento mori in Stoicism. Memento mori. So they always live with the awareness to remember that I am going to die. And none of these matter in light of that. Memento mori, so it is an awareness of the impermanence of things and yourself. I am going to die. So will this matter when I leave my body? Oh, this person told this to me. So none of these matter in light of that. So don't resent people. In fact, use them to become better. There are other three, so these 5 principles of Stoicism. One is amor fati, another is, second is momentum mori. Stoicism is a Greek philosophy. It came and it became very popular when Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor, he adopted Stoicism. That's when it became very popular. So first is amor fati, second is momentum mori, then third is, it's about what you do for other people. It's about service, giving. What you do for the act of common good. So that is one common theme in Stoicism. No, there's no term for it. It's about what you do for other people. They say the fruits of the life is good character and acts for the common good. Fourth principle that they follow is they ask yourself time and again while doing anything, is this essential? Is this essential? Ask yourself time and again while doing anything, is this essential? Then the fifth principle they follow is before speaking anything, they ask themselves. The principle is to ask yourself. Before you speak, ask yourself, is it true? Is it necessary? Is it true or is it necessary? Many times our mind creates our own story, right? That's why Carlos Castaneda said, give up your story. Give up your personal history. When you give up your story, there's no story that you need to protect to. But we like to protect our own story, our own history. Right? So second is don't resent people. Third is grievance. Third ego trait is grievance. So when you carry resentment carried for a long time is grievance. That resentment started with one moment, one incident, right? Now if you can carry it for a long, long time, then it turns into a grievance. You harbor the resentment more and more, you energize it more by thinking about it again and again. Now that resentment ballooned. Now it becomes a grievance. It becomes your state of being, your personality trait now. And we all actually, and a lot of times we don't realize the collective grievance. The collective grievance can survive for centuries in a psyche of a nation or a tribe, in a community, in a religion. And that can lead to a cycle of endless violence. What we are seeing right now in Israel and Palestinian is that collective grievance, which is being carried from generations. The Palestinians think, oh, it was our land. And these Jewish came and took back our land. Jewish think, oh, we lost our nation. We needed a nation. And this where 2000 years back, this where our forefathers, our ancestors came from. So we want to come back to our own land. But by the time they came to their own land, the Palestinians were already living in it. Now, the Palestinians felt they were displaced by Jewish. So everybody is seeing their point of view, and this collective grievance is carrying on from generations. What started from 1910 and the Egypt, then Israel became in 1948 now, but the Palestinians still carrying that grievance, that harbor the grievance. They displayed my father was displaced, my grandfather was displaced. We had to leave our home and go to and go refuge in some small place, in small territories. And that leads to violence. And vice versa. So collective grievance can go on for years, centuries. But that strength, that is again coming from your ego. That is an ego trait. And our politicians they love to use that of your ego trait to do their politics. On religion, on Hinduism, on casteism, on fundamentalism, or Hindu-Muslim divide. So this is you have to understand, this is your ego trait. This is your ego which loves to identify with one religion, or being fundamentalist about one religion. There is scope for all religions to thrive. When there's no ego, you appreciate differences. There's a beauty in. There's so much to learn. For every religion, there's some unique thing to learn from, some beauty to learn from. And the fact is, as Dr. Newton said, right? In this lifetime, you are born in this country or in this religion. Next lifetime, you may be born in Pakistan. If you're a Hindu in India, you may be born in Pakistan as Muslim. To learn the lesson. Oh, these are the people you hated them. These are the people whom you were carrying the grievance for. Okay. Then the soul will plan to be born there so that you learn that lesson. Then where is the nation? Where is the religion? But ego loves that. Ego loves to carry that grievance. But once you understand that, then you will not be you will no more harbor grievances, and nor you will be the toy to be played in the hand of politicians. And politicians also do it because they know there's no way an Indian Prime Minister give a statement against any Pakistan in favor of Pakistan, no matter however good something they must have done, or vice versa, because it will hurt the ego of my citizens, and then they will not vote for me. So it's vice versa, right? So it needs a lot of honesty to see if you still harbor any grievance against anything. People of different nationality, religion, person, situation, tribe, you may be a supporter of one political party and another political party, of your opponent, maybe a soccer team, anything. When you carry this resentment, carrying time and again, becomes a habit then, right? A mistake repeated frequently is a decision. A mistake repeated frequently is a decision. You made that choice now, you decided to, now it's your choice to carry this. And then you become a grievance looking for a cause. Now you are looking for a cause to activate that chemical reaction of that grievance. While you can be a joy looking for a cause. That's why you keep blaming others. My problem is because of that. But the blame keeps the wound open always. Blame keeps the wound alive. And if you don't heal what hurt you, you will bleed on people who didn't cut you. If you don't heal what hurt you, you will bleed on people who didn't cut you. So many times, we keep a facade of being nice in the society, with friends, outside. But if there's anger, grievance, frustration, anxiety, you come back home, and in home you're honest, right? Whom your authentic self. Then you let it all out on your family members. That anger, that grievance, that resentment, everything comes on your family member. Somebody else must have done some the trouble would have come from somebody else. But then you bleed on somebody else. Or vice versa. So a lot of times, the cause is somewhere, the effect is somewhere. And even from the other perspective, you say, oh, I to love this person, but why this person hate me? Why this person has so much anger for me? So the quantum field for the quantum field, nothing is personal. The quantum field says, oh, you are carrying this emotion? So let me give you people who demonstrate that trait towards you. Now, that could be the very person whom you actually love. But because you carry that anger, that person is angry with you. And then you try to solve the mystery. Oh, but I didn't do this, but why he did this? And it is unresolved mystery. But the truth is, this person is only mirroring you what grievance or anger or resentment or complaint that you're carrying inside you. And it is being reflected through that person. It's not about interpersonal what you did to that. It's about it is about your interpersonal reality with you, which is by being reflected by that person. And that's why sometimes, no matter how much you care about understanding why things haven't gone better, you can't solve the problem. Sometimes it is just why don't we just let it go and let your present be better? So whenever and no emotion is actually a negative emotion. Emotion itself is not a negative emotion. When you assign the meaning to that emotion, right? What is feeling? Feeling is a mental interpretation of an emotion. When you mentally interpret that emotion, oh, I feel angry, I feel good, I feel bad, I feel hate, I feel rage. Once you mentally interpret that emotion, then now you assign that meaning. When you assign the meaning, you buy that experience. Now you have started suffering. Now you add a story to that emotion. I am feeling this because this person did this to me, because this happened to me in my life. So emotion in itself is not unhappiness. Emotion is only a sensation. If you just allow it to feel it fully, it will subside. Don't add any story to it. But ego loves adding story. Because ego always wants somebody on the other side. So ego loves to add story. The moment that emotion is added with a story, then it becomes unhappiness. Emotion in itself is not unhappiness. Emotion plus an unhappy story is equal to unhappiness. But once you become aware how this ego is playing it, once you become aware That how ego loves somebody on the other side, how ego loves stories. Ego loves to create stories. You can break, that awareness can break that chain of pain. Everything changed. Everything changed the day I realized you are my lesson, not my enemy. Everything changed the day I realized you are my lesson, not my enemy. You are my inner work, not my pain. You are my chosen chapter, not my punishment. You are what happened for me, not to me. We'll take one question, then we can take a tea break, and then we'll come back again. Yeah? Yeah.
Hello. Hi, sir. I'm Vidya from Chennai. So, I have a question regarding this resentment and which turns into grievance. Our loved ones, who we very well know that they are going through this resentment, over the period it turned into grievance. So, like you said, the universe sends the other person who really cares and loves them. So, in such cases, they are not able to identify them, right? So, in that case, we very well know that they're going through this kind of grievance. So, what sort of help or support we will be able to provide them? They eventually they will push us further because they don't understand with all the resentment and grievances they are going through. But how can we even support them?
The best help you can give it to them is becoming the example of your balance, becoming the example of your inner alignment. That is the best help you can give it to them.
Like we still stay around with them, just listen and stay around with them, or
That I'll come to it. Yeah, I'll explain you more. I'll come to all those things, and then you'll get your answer with that. Yeah, right. Yeah, we'll take her. Yeah.
Hi Shreyans, thank you for giving me a chance. I'm Dhanashri from Bangalore. So my question is that if someone in my life I've seen time and again that no matter how much love I send to them, in person, in telepathy, in meditations, breaking ties, breaking bonds, all of those tools that are available in spiritual books, and even silence, even acceptance. Despite of that, if you feel like if someone is constantly being, showing you resentment, and then just being silent is what you said, will show them your alignment. But in this age and this day, um, unless you stand up for yourself or unless you do something about it, your kindness is taken as your weakness. Then, in such a situation, how can you react? Because distancing them is not an option in this case, not at all. You have to be around them. So, but it bothers you and it imbalances your inner being because, after all, you're human. So, in that case, how do you react? Do you stand up for yourself once in a while?
Right. So, though I'm going to cover it all, but this situation, we all face this situation. We all are in this situation in every family environment or corporate environment. We face this situations. So, what is important is first is your inner alignment. Second is when you do not allow them, when you keep your balance, that means they are not able to steal energy from you. And I'm going to cover it all actually. And when they are not able to steal energy from you, then they will find somebody else to steal energy. Then they will leave you out of the equation. Right? Then you are no more their supply. So I'm going to share with this, all this will answer that, right? Today, tomorrow is all about relationships. So, and you will get your answers. So, sorry, I won't take more questions now because I'm covering all this. And then later on, I'll take questions, yeah? Yeah, thank you. So let's take a tea break and come back in, so 12 o'clock? Yeah, let's meet at 12.
Hello. One announcement, friends. For your participation in this retreat, we all are being given a certificate which are all ready and available at the help desk downstairs. Please do collect it from there, all of you. Thank you. Sorry. Welcome back, friends. Though I can't see most of them in as yet. Just a gentle reminder again to you all that about the presence of that book voucher in your kits. Have you all made avail that facility already? Have you all or have you not? If there are some people still left, maybe see those hands who have still not availed of this facility. Please do so at your convenient and the earliest best possible, right? So please keep remember this, and we will start with the session. Thank you, Shreyans.
So welcome back, friends. Whatever questions you have, maybe you can write it down, and by the end of the session, then I can take the questions. If it is still, it's still not answered, yeah. So the fourth trait of ego is being right. Ego always wants to be right. I am right. And then to make yourself right, the ego likes to make others wrong. Because that gives a sense of superiority to the ego. Whatever it's maybe a perspective, an opinion, a judgment, a story. My story is the right story. My view is the right view. My perspective is the only correct perspective. So ego always, or otherwise both perspectives can be right? It's a perspective. But ego says, no, only mine is right. Ego loves to be right. You rather be right than at peace. That's how ego likes. And then ego likes to be the dominance. Ego talks us into choosing dominance rather than tolerance. And this is a fundamental nature of ego. Dominance, judgment. And that's why once you become aware that this is my ego in me, which wants me to be right. Then you can discipline your ego. Once you understand that everybody has their own point of view, and they are right from their perspective, you are right from your perspective. Kishu, you have the slide of that train wala joke? No, the new slides. Train. It's okay, we can share it later then. Yeah. Fine. Yeah. So ego, because it wants it to be right, It doesn't want to let go of anything. But sometimes letting go is an act of far greater superpower, far greater power than defending or hanging on to what you feel is right. It needs so much of energy to defend yourself, to defend your own position, your own mental position, your own beliefs. And that's why ego likes people catching them, people doing anything wrong. Ego will not catch them doing right. So catch people doing right rather than doing wrong. Because that gives ego again a superiority, right? What you appreciate, appreciates. Marshall Rosenberg said, never delay an expression of appreciation. It has a terrible shelf life. Never delay an expression of appreciation. It has a terrible shelf life. So whatever you appreciate, you'll appreciate in others. You'll appreciate in yourself. Even in marriages, it's most of the time about between a spouse and both the spouses about right and wrong. Yeah, Keshav. Share the slide, it's about perspective, but life is all about perspective. From what perspective, who is seeing? And all perspectives could be right. Share the slide. So a pessimist sees a dark tunnel. An optimist sees the light at the end of the tunnel. The realist sees a freight train. The train driver sees three idiots standing on the tracks. So it's all about perspective, right? So I was talking about even marriage. Most of the time it's about I am right, you are right, I am wrong, you are wrong, I am right. And because of that we lose friendship, right? It's not a lack of love, but a lack of friendship that makes unhappy marriages. We love each other, but there's no friendship because we lost our friendship. Because it's always about right, wrong. It's always that ego ascertaining itself. But for all relationships is more about how you relate to yourself. All relationships is about how you relate to yourself. When you don't try to defend your position, when you don't try to prove that you are right, maybe you can learn something new. In a humble state, you learn better. So don't interrupt someone's expertise only with your overconfidence. You may accept or not accept. That's a different thing. Others do, but it's okay to listen. You don't need to contradict that. So spend more of your time observing, listening, and learning instead of wanting to be seen and heard. Ego always likes to be seen and heard. But we learn by asking questions, by observing information, not by talking. So that time, be aware. Suppressing your ego at that moment helps you grow. But ego loves to be interesting rather than being interested. Right? You want to show how cool I am. Right? So you're in a wrong place if you're if you're in a wrong place if you're the strongest person in the room. So be humble, be open to learn, be open to listen. If you are the smartest person in the room, if you think you are the smartest person, that means you are not in the right place. Sometimes it's good to apologize. Apologizing does not necessarily mean that you are wrong and the other person is right. Sometimes it means that you value the relationship more than your ego. Right? So because we think we are only right, ego makes us believe that we are right. We have all the projections, expectations from people, right? Judgments about the people. So we need to drop all that. When we manage to love without expectation, calculation and negotiation, we are indeed in heaven. That's what Rumi said. When we manage to love without expectation, calculations and negotiations, we are indeed in heaven. That's what makes a healthy relationship. So most of the time in a relationship, there are two important tools for a great relationship. I would say two important mantras if you can follow. All projections, if you can drop all the projections, all the expectations, rejections, separations, and judgments. So follow this mantra. Whenever you are in a relationship which is challenging, just say it to yourself, all projections, expectations, separations, rejections, and judgments I have of this person and of me based on this person, I drop totally and completely. All projections, expectations, rejections, separations and judgments I have of this person and of me based on this person, I drop it totally and completely. All projections, I think I'll only forget. All projections, expectations, rejections, separations, and judgments I have of this person and of me based on this person, I drop it totally and completely. Because all this is coming from ego. All this is feeding your ego, serving your ego. And second is, that's the whole idea, right? Second is, I leave you to be free to think your own thoughts. Indulge your indulge in your own taste, follow your own inclination, and behave in the ways you decide to your liking. Your choice, your life, your choice. I leave you to be free to think your own thoughts, indulge your taste, follow your inclination, and behave in ways you decide to your liking. And when you do this, huge amount of freedom will come to you. When you disengage from your ego, when you don't become a puppet of your ego, a huge amount of freedom comes to you. All of a sudden, you'll feel ki no, people are not able to, I'm not the prisoner of people's opinions. Care about what others think of you, you'll always be their prisoner. So again, another important. So stop chasing to be being right. Doesn't matter. Then otherwise, the ego always defends your own truth. So ego is a master of selective perception and distorted interpretation. Ego will always like to see it, selective listening, selective seeing. Ego wants to see things the way it like it to see. To whatever it wants to suit its perspective, to its own advantage. That's how the ego loves to see things. Like religion. Religion can be a great tool for service, to live in the service of truth. Or you can live in the service of ego, right? The same religion you can use to fight with somebody. So this is the role of the ego. Even in the religion, the ego finds a way to fight. Even in spirituality, my spiritual teacher is the best. Right? But doing that, you are losing your own power actually. You are closing the other doors. Follow the teachings, not the teacher. Follow the teachings, not the teacher. Every flower has its own fragrance. You can learn from so many else. But ego likes that. My teacher is the best. I learned so much from Patri sir. But from Patri sir only I learned that you have to learn from others also. And that's what made me love Patri sir more. And that's what is more empowering, right? So the true master will never disempower you. He'll give you tools to empower you more. So ego loves to defend its own truth. And that's why it's easy for us to believe in God, that believing that God is outside of us, than to believe that we are gods. Because if you are God, then ego will lose its identity, its limited identity of that personality. When the river merges with the ocean, the river is losing its identity. So the river is fearful in the beginning. But the moment it merges, then it realizes, oh my God, I became the ocean. So ego does not want you to believe that you are gods. Because ego likes its independent identity. That's why I am separate from God and God is outside of me. Because ego always wants everything, even God on the other side, not inside. Collective ego, as I have discussed with you before, far more dangerous. Right? Because the collective ego is that conditioning which we have heard the story from our parents, from our political leaders, from generations. And it's that conditioning which you start believing as is true. Even as human race, we feel, as a human race, we feel so much superior to any other species. That's why it's so easy to kill the plants, to kill the animals. That's why violence against any other species we don't even think about, because we feel my race is the superior, our human race is the best. But that is again collective ego. I wonder if animals could speak, and if they would have a courtroom, all of us human race would have been prosecuted. Because we all are responsible for some violence against these animals, right? To build our homes, we are ready to destroy the forest, right? Forgetting that it is their home. Actually, that is their home that we have occupied. And now we say it's our home. And especially when it comes to a nation, we become so blinded. But once you understand, again it is an ego trait. Even a great nation is like a great man. When a great man makes a mistake, when he makes a mistake, he realizes it, right? He realizes it, he admits it. Having admitted it, he corrects it. He considered those who point out his faults or his mistakes as his most benevolent teachers. Thank you for showing my mistake. Thank you for giving me this feedback. Even his enemy, he thinks of his shadow. Enemy is a shadow that he himself casts, right? But when it comes to nation, have you seen any nation, any prime minister, any president apologizing to any country for the wrongs that as a country they have done? As an individual, we can admit a mistake, but as a nation, we'll never do that. Because the collective ego is far more dangerous. It never lets you go down. Because with collective ego makes you believe that, oh, I will lose the pride of my country. It is against my national pride. To tell somebody that you pointed us my mistake, our country's mistake, so thank you for showing us the mistake. We are ready to fight. As a nation, we are ready to fight, we are ready to attack. How can you talk to this against my country? I am ready to attack. It's an ego battle between two presidents, between two prime ministers, and the whole nation suffers. War. Ego loves to fight. War is a mindset. It could be fight against anything. Fight against corruption. Ego loves to fight. That's why we call it war against poverty, war against drugs, war against crime, war against terrorism. war against cancer, and so on. But all this has never helped actually. It has increased, war against crime has increased more crime. What you fight, you strengthen. What you resist, you persist. Somebody, during the Vietnam War, somebody asked Mother Teresa that we are organizing a march, which is a march against violence, and we want you to lead the march. Can you join? She said, no, I can't join. If it is a march against violence, I cannot join. But if it is a march for peace, I'll be the first person to lead. So ego likes to even fight. It could be anything. Fight against a virtue. We are ready to collect it. And we feel, wow, I'm doing such a great job. Ego makes us start believing in that. Again, that also strengthens our ego. But you cannot solve the problem from the same level of mind that created it. Crime cannot be solved with war against crime. Right? That is trying to solve the problem from the same level of mind. Crime can be solved with love, with compassion, with how to help them transform. Not punishment. The reason the person is criminal because he is carrying some pain within. And we are punishing the pain out of that people. And that's why we are not able to solve the world issues. Lao Tzu said, give evil. He said, give evil nothing to oppose, and it will disappear by itself. Give evil nothing to oppose, and it will disappear by itself. Because it will lose its intensity. There's nothing for that evil to feed on to. Because even that evil needs somebody on the other side. When there's no opposition, it will fall flat. That's why, friends, you can't take sides against anything. You should not take sides against anything. If you just leave the against part out, instead of being against, focus on what you are for. Focus on what you are for, not what you are against. Then you will live happily ever after. Even an inner talk is always against. I'm against this, I'm against this. So change your inner conversation. What are you for? What are you for? That is what you need to focus on. Ego loves drama. Ego loves to create drama when there is nothing but peace. It will try to justify, attack, blame, defend, whatever it needs to do to create that whole drama. First, ego loves to create the drama, and then another drama to solve that drama. Right? But why did you create drama? There was no need of drama at the first place. And then you created a drama, and to solve that drama, now you need 10 people involved to solve that drama. Because ego loves people on the other side. And ego makes feel good. See, I'm trying to solve. I'm doing everything in my power to solve it. But why did you create a drama at the first place? But this is how ego lives in these cycles of dramas. First create drama, then another drama to solve the drama. And once the drama is solved, then after some time, again ego will create one more drama. But if you practice acceptance, allowance, you don't need that drama. If you honor the present happenings, it loses its absolute seriousness, its heaviness. The moment you accept something, the moment you accept the situation, it will take you fully into peace. But we do not accept it. And we don't accept it, then ego loves you to become very serious about it. This is a serious issue. I need solution. You make it so heavy. But the moment you accept it, the same situation will lose its seriousness. It loses heaviness. Right? Then another important trait of ego is wanting. Ego always wants. Wanting keeps the ego alive. If there's no wanting, then ego can't survive. So ego always loves wanting. Ego always prompts us. Ego always separates us from what? By prompting what's missing in your life. Ego prompts us, oh my God, this is missing in your life. So you need this. If you're thin, ego will tell you, oh, you should eat. If you eat too much, then how nice to be thinner. Diet, food. If you are at home, the ego tells you, oh, you need to travel to be happy. You haven't traveled for so long, it's missing in your life. So you need to travel. When you're traveling, now you're missing home. If you're in a relationship, ego is telling you, oh my God, this relationship is suffocating me. I need to be uninvolved now. When you're single, then you are craving for a relationship. When you are married, then you are missing your girlfriends. Then you want a girlfriend. When you have a girlfriend, you need to settle in life. You want to get married. When you're with the children, you want to escape from them. My God, don't have any personal time now. I need little peace at home. When you're out, then you're missing your children. So ego always likes you to want something. It is always prompting you what's missing in your life. That's why Lao Tzu said to understand the limitations of things, desire them. Once it is there, then you know, it's not giving you happiness. Because that's why ego, you're always working with your ego, right? Then again it will tell you, oh, something else is missing. Ego loves deferred satisfaction. Ego wants you to defer your satisfaction. It never likes, oh, I'm satisfied. I feel good. I feel complete. And then it becomes a mental habit. And that's why it makes it impossible for you to experience satisfaction. Because that is the basic trait of the ego. Ego is never satisfied. It will always say, if I get this, when I get this, then I'll be satisfied. It is always trying to defer your satisfaction. And by the time you get this, then ego will say, oh, now when I get this, then I'll get the satisfaction. So it will keep deferring your satisfaction. And that becomes your mental habit. But when you enjoy each moment without waiting for the end,